All right, so let's begin with our Supta Baddha Kodasana, so reclining butterfly, sending spine into the mat, and sole of the feet together, starting in our butterfly. And if it's a comfortable place, we'll be closing the eyes. If not, always can steer anywhere around the ceiling. And let's rest hands today on top of the body. So sending one hand around collarbones, the other hand around the belly button, and trying to soften the shoulders, the elbows, relaxed, supported on the mat. And using a few moments to fully arrive in our bodies. So from wherever we might be, starting to honoring that space that we are. Starting to perceive those body parts in contact to the floor. Starting to perceive that physical body, any sensations. And also starting to perceive the front of the body with any sensations that might be feeling. And from the physical bodies, let's try to find more subtle bodies. Starting to perceive how the breath feels. And let's continue with our natural breath. Doesn't matter if we find slightly agitated breath at this moment. Starting to allow those physical tensions that maybe we found, starting to softening. So maybe those tensions are gripping around the forehead, releasing the forehead, releasing the jaw, the teeth, allowing the head to find that comfort on the mat, feeling that support around the lower body, lower back, and shoulders. And let's focus slightly more into those exhalations. We're starting to elongate the exhalations on each breath. Let's try to elongate the exhalations. And continue allowing the natural inhalations. And with the exhalations, inviting the body to find that comfort and those tensions to go. So we'll take about 10 more of these breaths. And more or less finishing the last couple of breaths. And gently we'll come back with the attention into the bodies. Starting to bring little wiggle or tapping thumbs on the rest of your fingertips. And gently let's come out from the posture, sending knees pointing up to the ceiling. Put the sole of the feet flat on the mat. Great. Good. Let's keep this position. We can rest the arms into the sides. Good. And let's begin with a gentle tilt of the pelvis. So with the exhalations, we'll try to sink the belly button into the spine, internal rotating the hips, and the tailbone feels like it's pointing towards the heels. And with the inhalations, we expand the abdomen, the diaphragm, external rotation of the hips, finding that space between the spine and the mat, and the tailbone points down towards the mat. And we'll continue the breath flow. Few more rounds. And the last couple of rounds. Then we'll come back in our neutral spine. Good. So we'll do similar thing with the shoulders. With the inhalation, sending the shoulders as close as possible to the ears. And with the exhalation, dragging the arms towards the feet, sending shoulders as far as possible away from the ears. And the last couple of rounds. And we'll come back in our neutral shape. Good. Then from here, we'll bring the arms into the sides. And palms facing up. Good. So with the exhalations, we'll be dropping knees. So let's begin dropping knees to the left side. And if neck feels right, we'll drop the nose towards the right shoulder. Good. And at the same time, we can also bring the left palm facing down to the mat. And with the inhalation, we'll be coming back to center, left palm face up the ceiling. And with the exhalation, knees to the right, nose to the left, then bringing right palm facing down to the floor. And we'll repeat a few more rounds at your own rhythm. Great, and about last couple of rounds. And we'll be coming back to center. Great, so from here, let's drop both knees to the chest. Good. Engaging for a moment your abdominal muscles, sending belly button in towards the spine. Good. And just keep that posture for 3 breaths. And with the next exhalation, let's drop the left foot on the mat. Then we'll interlace hands at the back of the right hamstring, then extending the right leg all the way up. Great. Let's focus into those right toes. So sending right foot in flex as much as we can, finding those sensations at the back of the right leg, spreading the toes as much as possible. And we'll remain here for 3 more breaths. and from here, let's point the foot, the right foot, pointing to the ceiling, and 3 more breaths. Great, and let's drop right knee towards the chest. Just finish crossing the right foot, sorry, the right knee on top of your left. Finding a right knee just on top of the left, and on the next exhalation, elevating the left foot. Good, then maybe interlacing hands at the back of the left hamstring. And the last couple of breaths. Great, and we'll send left foot on the mat, keep the position on the legs. Good, and we'll bring again arms on the sides, stepping towards the right side with hips. And with the next exhalation, dropping knees to the left. Doesn't matter if we don't reach the floor with the knees, just coming with the spinal twist all the way up. And on the next inhalation, coming back to center, spine on the mat, releasing both feet on the mat. Maybe a little shake to your legs muscles, trying to disconnect the muscle from the bone. Then we'll do the same one more time. So let's draw knees to the chest, feet and flex, engaging abdomen, and about 3 breaths here. Next exhalation, dropping the right foot on the mat, hands behind the left hamstring, extending the left leg. Spreading out the toes as much as we can, and taking about 3 breaths. And let's change positions, sending the feet now pointing towards the ceiling. Great, and let's drop left knee towards the chest, finish crossing left leg on top of the right. Inhaling here, exhaling, elevating right foot. Interlacing hands maybe at the back of the right leg. And one more breath. Then dropping feet on the mat, arms on the sides, stepping with hips to the left 3 inches, then using next exhalation to drop knees toward the right side. Then slowly, slowly finding the twist into your upper body. And our last deep breath. And inhaling, coming back to center. Exhaling, releasing legs and give them a little shake, disconnecting tensions. Great. So from here, slowly dropping knees to one of your sides, and we'll find a seated position. And from seated position, we'll find our kneeling position, tabletop. Great. So from tabletop, we'll maybe tuck the feet in. Good. And let's simply do a few cat-cows. Keep warming up the rest of your spine. So with the exhalations, let's sink the belly button into the spine, dropping the tailbone, dropping the head as well. Good. And see if we can hold slightly longer after we finish the exhalation for as long as we feel comfortable. And with the inhalation, opposite rotation of the hips, the heart sinks towards the mat, the nose points front. And the same, exhaling, arching the spine, sinking belly button towards the lower back. Finish the exhalation, then remain with empty lungs for a few seconds. Good. Then repeat a few more rounds at your own pace. And more or less finishing the last round. Then going back into neutral spine. Good. So from here we can relax the feet, sending big toes together, knees to the edges of the mat, and we'll sit in our extended child's pose. So allowing arms to be extended over the head, stretching the scapulas, forehead on the mat. Then we'll try to remain in this position for slightly longer, about one minute here. Fighting with the resistance. With the need of keep moving. All right, and the last couple of breaths or so. Then we'll find a little flow here. So from our extended child's pose, we'll be coming into our tabletop. So arching the spine, coming up. And with the exhalation, back to your extended child's pose. Then if it feels comfortable, we'll be also adding that retention with empty lungs in child's pose and holding there for as long as feels comfortable. See if we can coordinate the movement with the breath. Inhaling while coming up, finding your variation of tabletop, finishing your inhalation here, and exhaling slowly, slowly. Finishing the exhalation on child's pose, remaining child's pose with empty lungs for a few seconds, and repeat last few times. And finishing the last round, back to child's pose, back to the normal, natural breath. Great, so from here we'll come back into our tabletop and getting ready for downward facing dog. Tucking the feet in, external rotation of the arms, external rotation of the hips, and let's find the first downward facing dog. So maybe bending the knees, finding the length of the spine, and keep pressing the palms on the mat, sending the scapulas away from the ears, and feeling that the hips are aligned with your heels like a triangle shape. Heels, hips, hips, hat. Good, and we'll stay here for a bit. So maybe paddling the feet, bring a bit of movement there. Keep connecting with your center core, sending belly button towards the spine. Great, then slowly, slowly we'll be walking towards the hands. We'll be bending knees as much as we need. And let's try to bring now palms under the feet. So let's try to bring the whole palm, not just the fingers, but the whole palm. So we'll be bending knees as much as we need. Good, and releasing the head here. So a few moments here, pressing those terminations of the meridians. A bit of reflexology, releasing tensions from the nervous system. Take about 5 breaths. Good, and slowly we'll bring again hands on the mat. Great, then we'll take an inhalation, hands on your shins, finding the flat spine. So straight line between your tailbone and the crown of the head. The shoulders comes back and down. Inhaling here. Exhaling down towards your knees. And 2 more times. Inhaling, flat spine, belly button into the spine. Long neck. Exhaling. Nose to your knees. Maybe bending knees here. And the last time, inhaling, extending legs, flat spine, long neck. Exhaling, nose to the knees. Great, hands on the mat, and with the next exhalation, right foot back, dropping the knee, relaxing the back foot. Good, and we'll meet in our low lunge. We'll stay here for a bit. So we'll take more of a yin approach. So we'll try to soften the muscles and allowing the hips to slowly sink towards the mat. Great. So from here, let's bring the left arm inside part of your left leg. Great. And now we'll be activating the inner thighs, both inner thighs, tucking the right toes in and extending the right leg. And we want to bring a bit of movement back and forth. Keep working with that hip rotation, hip motion, the joints. Great, and one more breath. And we'll come back with the right knee on the mat. Transferring left hand outside part of your left foot, and we'll come back into our downward facing dog. Great, and 3 more breaths. Then we'll be sending the right foot in between hands with control. Good. Then we'll be dropping the left knee and relaxing the left foot. Great. We maintain this position. Low lunge, sinking hips slowly, slowly. The last couple of breaths. Then we'll be transferring right hand inside part of the right foot, starting to engage your inner thighs and glutes, tucking left toes in, extending the left leg, and we'll bring a bit of movement back and forth. Very good. Then from here, we'll drop left knee back on the mat. Great. Transfer right hand behind, outside of the right foot. Good. Then we'll come back into last downward facing dog. Good. And from here, coming into your tiptoes, rolling the spine, trying to find your plank. And from your plank, dropping the knees, bending the elbows, finding chest on the mat. Then now we can extend the legs. Great. Let's meet in our sphinx. So elbows more or less align with your shoulders. Great. Let's have an active sphinx. So we'll be activating the glutes. Keep pressing big toes against your mat and keep pressing the mat with palms and forearms and elbows. And we'll try to find that length of the neck as well. We'll take about 6 more breaths here if we can hold. The last deep breath. Great, then slowly coming with the forehead on the mat, hands under the shoulders. We can now relax the glutes, the legs, and on the next inhalation, pressing the hands, extending the arms. And we'll be coming back into our child's pose. Any child's pose that body goes in organically. the last deep breath. And we'll be using next inhalation. Press the hands under the shoulders, extending the arms. Great, so from here we'll bring the legs in front. Good. And we'll go for a bit of fold. So sending sitting bones on the mat, or maybe coming with a bit of support under your sitting bones. Great. And we'll, for a moment, activate the legs, coming with feet in flex, pressing fingertips parallel to the hips, maybe sending the shoulders up, back and down, exhaling here. Lower ribs into your body. And on the next inhalation, reaching up with the arms. Then exhaling, folding forward. And we can soften the knees here. We can have more of a yin approach by resting hands on the sides wherever we reach is good. Or maybe more active approach by taking big toes and keep pulling forward with the abdomen. I'll take a yin approach today. Great, then we'll try to remain with the attention back on that breath. And if it's possible, we'll also use those retentions the same way we did in previous sequences. So after the exhalation, belly button into the spine. See if we can hold a few seconds without any air in the lungs. And about last 3 breaths. And slowly, we'll take an inhalation, coming back to center. And with the exhalation, we'll be rolling the spine, meeting back on the mat. Great. And before we go into Shavasana, we'll do a few Bananasanas to stretch the sides of the body. So let's bring the arms over the heart. And just taking an inhalation here, pointing the feet, sending again belly button towards the spine and the spine towards the mat. On the exhalation, walking to one of your sides with the feet and with the arms. Sorry, feet, hands, legs and arms. But we try to keep both hips aligned and the sitting bones on the mat. Great. And we can also relax the ear that we are tilting, the side that we are tilting to. Great. And the last 3 breaths. Then we'll be using next the inhalation, coming back to center with your arms and legs. Straight line. Good, exhaling here. And the same, taking an inhalation, lower ribs into the body, belly button into the spine, pointing the feet. And with the exhalation, walking to your other side. And relaxing that ear towards the shoulder. Then the last deep breath. And using next inhalation, coming back to center. Maybe if you need a little massage around the lower back before we spend a few moments in Shavasana. Great. Then we'll be extending legs, relaxing the arms on the sides. So for today's Shavasana, while we try to embrace a few moments of stillness, completely stillness, we'll call the attention at the forehead, and we'll finish with a healing visualization. With our inhalations, we'll be visualizing this light coming through the nostrils and reaching our forehead. And with the exhalations, observing how this golden light expands from the forehead, reaching every corner of yourself. Relaxation is finishing. Slowly starting to call the attention back into your whole body. Starting with a gentle wiggle coming from toes and fingers and bits by bits. Any movement. Maybe hugging knees, little rock side to side to reactivate the back of the body. And through fetal pose, we'll find a comfortable seated position. Great. And we'll finish the practice today with some gratitude. Now that we are open, heart is open, body is open. We are easier to receive and give some gratitude. Just thinking about one or few things that you are grateful for. And we'll take the last breath into those things that we are grateful for. So taking an exhalation here, empty the lungs, belly button into the spine. And on the next inhalation, reaching all the way up. And with the exhalation, back to the heart, drawing that energy. Just bowing to yourself. Thank you very much. Namaste.